having you around for September wasn't just good, it was frankly beautiful. But Spyro, it's time to move on because CTR is that's the wrong way round. CTR is returning to Crash Bandicoot characters with Nina, Cortex and N.Brio. Today we're gonna talk about our highlights for the Spooky Grand Prix.
Got you there, chicky boy. You can prepare to be terrified too with this ghoulish Grand Prix season creeping up right behind you.
So yes, today we are going to talk about the Spooky Grand Prix. And the scariest thing of all, I've put my ugly face on it. So if anybody out there has soiled yourself, I do apologise. If you do go on to enjoy this video, remember to share it with a friend or an enemy, hit that like button, and most importantly of all, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more CTR content on a regular basis. Nina's Nightmare is ticking a number of the boxes I wanted to see for the circuit in this Grand Prix, and although I want to save most of the detail, especially surrounding my highlights for the aesthetics of the track for its own video in a few days, we have to touch on it today. Racing through the grounds of, and the creepy mansion itself, has lots of brilliant gameplay and aesthetic touches, and sees the return of that all-important blue fire, and some cunning little shortcuts too. I love that these shortcuts aren't too OP either. That mutated Pumpkin 2 with the treacherous stomping legs looks immense. The only initial complaint I have about the circuit at this point is that it does seem slightly bare in places, but I'm sure plenty of fans will be delighted to see really high-speed racing return with Nina's Nightmare. Oh yeah, and it's already available to dive into right now. Now I know not everyone is going to be a fan of this next point, but as of now you can play as any character with any driving style. Basically, you can race as Crash, the new and popular Spyro, or any other character in the roster as either Turn, aka Beginner, Balanced, aka Intermediate A, Acceleration, aka Intermediate B, or Speed, aka Advanced, depending on your driving style or just what you fancy when you jump into the game. Now, although I understand some people's reservations of players being allowed to play as any character in any class, no matter what class they were originally placed in, overall I'm okay with the change, and hopefully it encourages people to try out a wider range of characters. Additionally, there's a brand new driving style called Drift, which I imagine is going to be inclined towards drifting. Just a thought. Finally, if you just want to play as your character's original class, maybe you're nostalgic like that, you can in the 6th driving style option, Classic. Although we've got plenty of new stuff in this Grand Prix, I'm guessing some of you will be just as excited for the returning stuff that the pit stop is going to include. Yes, that's right, at least some of the content from the Nitro-Fueled Grand Prix is making its way back to the pit stop, so for those of you who have been eagerly awaiting your chance to get your hands on it, seeing as you missed it first time around, the time has finally come. If you want to unlock either the Nitro Squad or Tana, be sure to keep an eye out in the pit stop. Moving on, let's talk about my favourite part of any new Grand Prix, the additions to the character roster. Although we speculated that the likes of Koala Kong, or as mentioned by a few in the comments, Madame Amberly from the Academy of Evil, might surprise us all and sneak in at the last moment, there was in the end no surprises, and all 3 characters previously mentioned in the Activision blog made the grade. Not that this is a bad thing, obviously. Komodo Mo looks fantastic and quite intimidating to say the least. However, it's the appearance of Nina, Cortex and N.Brio that I really love. Her gothic and evil nature really comes across in Nina's character design, and with her being incredibly popular with fans too, I'm pretty sure almost everybody can be happy with her inclusion. For me though, N.Brio really steals the show. An evil scientist who may have fallen off the edge of sanity fits brilliantly with the theme of the Spooky Grand Prix. It also creeps me out, and therefore he's got to be my favourite new addition to the character roster. The Grand Prix is coming with some really sweet customisables as well to use with new and existing characters. We're getting some kind of strange glowing green monster fake Crash, Witch Tana, an evil Coco inspired costume, a really creepy dolly Nina Cortex, and my personal favourite, Frankenstein Nitrous N.Brio. This guy really does suit the Grand Prix brilliantly, and a Frankenstein skin is just immense. There's a couple of carts I'm delighted to see as well, including the Skull Rider cart and my personal favourite, the Organ Grinder inspired cart. I'm really hoping I find the time to work up to that, seeing as it's a gold tier. I mean, I guess my MA can just go on pause for a month. So if all that wasn't spooky enough for you and creeped you out enough, I've brought my face back for the conclusion. So yesterday we have talked about our highlights for the Spooky Grand Prix. But if you want to see more CTR content like that, make sure that you share this video with a friend, hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, we'll be going over the track in a video very soon. All I've got to say is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon.